going to show this off real quick before we get into this piece. Here's what we're getting ready to do. It's an elk hanging piece. That's what we're shooting for. Dig him out. It's going to be relieved in the center and all around the antlers and in between the antlers and the body. And of course, I got to trim up all these pieces. I'm going to make him kind of in an ovular shape, I guess, maybe. But anyway, here's what we got. And we just really just knocked this out. This little GROOT. I never made one before. I made these little guys. And moose with a cardinal on its head. Bigfoot, don't stop believing. He just needs a little paint. And the Highland cow. So it's been a pretty busy day. Got a lot done. All right, that's it. Let's turn this thing around on what we're getting ready to do. And they always want to tell you, oh, the orientation is incorrect. You can't orientate it that way. Well, I can orientate it however I want. I think, at least I think so, right? I don't know. Okay, so let me get some headphones on here real quick. And we will get started. Heck yeah. Oh, take this can throw it away. It's empty. I think I've had 3 cans of beer today, and that's been like noon, about 4:30, and then that one right there. So it ain't been a lot. It's been way spread out. Because I've been working all day. I've been out here doing it. Helen Keller, she's at shape cut out, and it's a little wonky here and here, and so I need to fix those. I need to kind of somewhat take the curvature out of that. I mean, take the straightness out of it. Well, let's do that. Further, I got to make sure you guys can see it. That looks pretty good. Okay. forward, and I can't explain why. Hey, look at all them toilets. Heck yeah, y'all hit the like button. That's what we like. That one was. It took me a minute to see it, but heck, I'm already getting into my antlers here. I got to be a little more careful. I'm going to have to drag that out to here now, but that's just par for the course, I guess. But I got to clean that up a little bit. But I'd rather keep the digging up first, try to get as much of this dug out as I can, and I'm going to be digging in as a board some. But this kind of is what it is. Stuff right there where I got that, I punched clear through, but in other places I haven't cut it at all. So whatever, I just keep working the corners. It's a little tricky, dig goes out, but that said, it's working out okay. Other than that's kind of funny, this backboard, I cut clear through it the one time. And I wouldn't be surprised if I cut it in half, but it is what it is. Anyway, y'all hit that like button and we'll keep right on going. go. So the basic shape, got all the holes cut out where we're going to cut them out. I think that looks pretty good. So we'll start digging some detail. I think I'm going to do the easy stuff, like dig this down through here, kind of dig the coat of the body. Now the coat of the body, I kind of want it to dance into the wood a little bit and clean these edges up, make us all nice and round. The hardest part's going to be digging in between these antlers, so I'll probably do that last, actually. That and the mouth, because that piece could chip off pretty easily. So we're going to try to take it a little bit at a time. But do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit that like button and we'll keep right on going. Let's see if I can get you guys in there just a touch closer. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And I've never made one of these before, so I'm super excited about this. Place on this coat in particular, and you can see where I drew it in, and I'm just going to have that coat come like the elk's body is just part of this piece of the wood. I'm just going to bring that coat on down through. But before I go any further with going up this way, I want to try to get that done so that I don't forget that I want this to go all the way through like that, and the angle I drew it in there so I wouldn't forget it. looks really nice, and this how it's kind of blended in. I suppose I could put a leg, like show shoulder here, but I'm not gonna go that far with it. I mean, it is what it is. It's gonna look fun. It's gonna look pretty fancy for me anyway. So I'll go ahead and start cutting the antlers out now, because this trim edge, I'll do that last. Take a little pressure off of me. By then, my arm will be able to rest a little bit too. So let's see how it goes. Y'all hit that like button if you haven't already. We sure appreciate you guys being in there. What are we up to? Almost 50 likes already. Wow. Hey, Ricky, how's it going? Amy, Joe, what do you know? Hey, I appreciate that. Woodchucker, Raja, Bendigo, Hana, glad to see you guys in there. Oh, yeah, Amy, Joe, that's one thing I remember about Colorado was when we were up there in Rocky Mountain National Park, because these things were everywhere. I mean, and they were all along the road, and they did not care. They were in the Estes State Park. They were all over the town of Estes. I mean, they were everywhere. tricky to reach up in there. And halfway I want to rotate it, but then you kind of lose your visual on it. So, you know, it's kind of, I don't know. It is what it is. I think I'll just suffer through it. It is what it, just keep going. So the pants I got on got a hole in them, and that last piece I kicked off hit that hole and rolled down into my pants. I mean, look, I'm roughing it today. I got a hole in this shirt. West Virginia, go Mountaineers. Anyway, you know what? It is what it is. It's not like I ain't been out anywhere. So, you know, if you're gonna get dirty, you might as well. Kind of a carving, I call it a relief carving, where you're punching through, and the reason for that is at some point in time where you're working on it, you're going to have to stop and pee. I got antsy and cut my antler off. Oh well. know if it'll do it down here, but I can glue that back together as long as I don't break it off. Anybody noticed that when it happened, but yeah, right here, that crack, that just let go. It got thin enough and there was a weak spot there, but it's not that big a deal. Even if it broke off down here, you would still be able to glue it all back together and it'd never break again. But that said, you hate that that happens. Let's switch to another one. I was going to use the NEOTEC, but as far along as this thing with I think I'm going to use this little John cutter instead. It kind of is what it is, but hey, appreciate you guys being in there. Be sure and hit that like button. What are we up to now? 84. We're going to hit 100, that's for sure. Hey, M&G Hydraulic Technologies. Billy Shoemate, Matthew, how's it going? Michael S. Superfan, Woodchucker. Glad to see you guys. All right, let me get this little John cutter fired up, and we'll start working on the mouth and the face and all that. cut it. I want to cut that nose down, cut the tip off and stuff. But, you know, all this left-hand saws is short like that ain't going to get in there. So I'm going to try it with a 16-inch micro pico and see how it goes. I just couldn't get around that corner and chip that off without having to worry about taking too much off, and I think that's about right there.
I think that's pretty much good for chainsaw carving work on this thing. And it need a lot of sanding and stuff. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the eye in with the MANPA eye cutter. And I'm going to burn this thing. And I'm going to work on something else. Because I know you guys really just rather see chainsaw carving. And so that's what we're going to do. But let me get that far enough to, you know, I just want to put you through the sanding. You know, sanding to put you to sleep. You know what I mean? And I know everybody you know, has to turn the volume down because, you know, if you're a guy, your wife's in there, knock it off, tell that guy to quit making all that racket. I know, I've been married 26 years, so I know how it is. Anyway, if you're a woman in there, yeah, you sound like that. Okay, all right. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, ladies, especially my good friend Baby Kisses. I don't want to make her mad. She's one of my favorites. Okay, so that's going to be the eye, give it a little bit of brow. And I'll probably take a burr and dig that out some more, like just like under it, just under it. But other than that, it's going to be all sand work from here. And nobody wants to live through that. So I'm going to burn it and we'll do something else. I got a little, I made these little Highlands, man. These things are cool. I knew they're going to sell good because they're super cute. And I got another one drawn out. It's okay, what I do with my striker. Down here somewhere, here we go. Alright, so we're gonna burn this. We're just taking the frizzies off. And I'll give it to the coat because the coat's gonna end up burning. But everything needs it right now. If we was at that event we was at a couple weeks ago and I'd made this, I'd probably end up selling it just like it was. The only downside of that would be that crack. You know, you'd have to do something about that crack. But yeah, it is what it is. The whole thing's gonna be sanded. Anything you can burn off, any of them little frilly pieces, just make it sanded. That'll give it time to dry off or dry out so that I can see if it's going to crack anywhere else and fix it. Let me turn this torch back off. I think that thing looks pretty daggone good, like it is. I mean, it's pretty neat. I've never made one before, so of course I'm going to be excited about it. You know, you guys are saying, that thing's hideous. What's wrong with this guy? Is he blind? You know, I don't know. Some of you guys are funny. You know, it is what it is. Okay, all right. I hate to take it down because it's so pretty, but let's take it down and another little thing over here we can make. I don't think that took that long. Relief carvings usually don't.
All right. So that's what we got so far. And if you like what we're doing here, be sure and like and subscribe. Heck yeah. Okay, I'm gonna set this thing. Oh man, I'd sure like to have it in the background. If I could. Don't stop believing. Oh. Yeah, I know. Shut up, fat guy. Nobody wants to hear you sing. We came here to watch your car stuff. You gotta make all kinds of racket. You're causing heavy injuries to my ears. Man, you people on YouTube are so vicious. Yeah, it's because you're making all kinds of rackets, you fool. Oh, okay. Man. Okay, is that going to set up there? It should be nice to set up there all the way. And, yeah, okay. I think that's going to stay. Yeah, worst thing happened to fall and breaks in half. And look, I got plenty of Gorilla Glue. I'll glue it back together. I don't care. Let's put this stuff over here. Okay. That's a pretty neat piece. I'm pretty happy with it. Hey, you can't see it in all that effort. You can't see it anyway. How about that? Here, let's do this. We'll move it over here. And we'll put our little piece we're getting ready to make right there. And let's see what you guys got. Oh, yeah. There it is. In the background. All right. Until some great big fat guy gets in the way. And then you won't be able to see it. So here's what I got. It's like I'm making a little Highland cow. And these things are super cute. I mean, I think they are. I mean, you guys may say, that's the dumbest idea I've ever seen. And I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. You're just wrong, you know. You know, look, 1 million women can't be wrong about this. You guys just gotta accept it. They're cute. And they bond. And they tell you, you know, it's so wonderful. And you better listen. I'm telling you, you better listen. Especially if you're going to be in Thorntonville, Ohio at the Backwoods Fest on September 19th, 20th, and 21st. They're going to tell you, oh, that's so cute. I really like what that guy did. I want you to buy it for me. And you're going to listen and you're going to buy it. Look, guys, I only promised to have about 10, 15, 20 pieces that are Highland cows. So I have plenty. You ain't got to worry about me running out. No, I'm not going to have that much. That's way too much. I got way too many things to build. But anyway, it's a cute little piece. And I mean, I've made 2 of these a day. I'll give you a kind of I'll show you what it's supposed to look like. I like the moo one better, but this is the welcome one. And these guys are cute. You know, you can hang it up or you can set it in front of the porch, you know, whatever. And, you know, I like it. I also made my first GROOT today. That was kind of, now I'm not 100% on what GROOT looks like. There's my GROOT. Okay, I don't know. We're going to name him Bill the GROOT. Okay, instead of GROOT, we're going to name him Bill. That's Bill the GROOT. It's GROOT's brother, Bill. Twice removed. Yeah, he had an operation. He used to be a sister. All right, where's my headphones? Something to protect my ears. And here they are. Okay, I got it. All right, stand by. Everybody stand by. Hey, they were hanging on my tool the whole time. Doing? Oh, he's so cute. What's he doing? Hey, he's trying menthols out for the first time. What do you think he's doing? He's a carving. Guys, what's ironic, you know, out here, the neighbors have to hear this chainsaw from afar. I carved 6 pieces today with an electric chainsaw, battery-powered chainsaw. This evening is the first time when the sun went down that I fired up the gas. Gonna get out of that. I forgot it. It's not a big deal. I just forgot that I needed to have something in there in the bottom. Here, let's take that back out. And we will figure it out because we are rocket scientists. Yeah. Okay, what you guys got? 175 likes. Hey, John, what's going on? What do we got here? Lynn's Firewood Creations. Heck yeah, glad to see you. Billy Woodchucker, what's going on? Possum 350 Legend, he did a couple lives today. And sorry, Possum, I don't even get to, I got to see you for a couple minutes, but I'm just busy. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, we got to crank the stuff right now. We got a show the 18th or 19th. We got to be in place the 18th. So I don't have time, too much time to do it. And really, we haven't made up our mind yet, but we're thinking about biting off a pretty big piece there in October, but we'll see. I don't know. It's just going to depend on how much inventory we got left after this other stuff. not to worry. All it means is my chain's getting a little lighter. Makes it easier for me to handle. What you're thinking right now. He's a little blocky. He looks like he probably ought to be on that you know, that Minecraft movie. That's if the chain don't catch on fire. Oh, well. Here, we'll get another one out. That's the way you handle that. Come on, baby. Thing. Hey, if you're going to live stream, you got to have a lot of stuff prepared to go. That's just the way it is. Hey, we got over 200 likes. Heck yeah. Hey, Creation Dust 777, the best chainsaw carver in the world. There's 250 people in here. Stop what you're doing. Go to Creation Dust 777's channel. Subscribe. Then come back. Okay, all right. You will love him. around here. And I'm going to leave it like that. It just adds to its diversity, you know? I mean, it's got to be all kinds of different types of Highland cows. flat. I guess I could give this a little more point, but no, I'm gonna leave it like that. What the heck? It'll just make it unique. And if you don't know who Unique is, I mean, look her up. I don't know who she is either. All right, let's see what we got here. T47, got Woodchucker Michael S. Superfan. Hi, Don Trump. How's it going, man? Glad to see you. Baby Kisses, glad to see you in there. And Woodchucker Creation does 777, the best chainsaw carver in the world. Okay, all right, let me get, and actually you can catch him at 2 p.m. Wednesday. Put it in your calendar, don't miss it. All right, let's go. Burn this guy a little bit. Give him a burn job. I think I'm gonna go ahead and sand him because, I mean, I ain't doing nothing else. And it just seems like we went through that elk pretty daggone quick. And that's a pretty neat piece. I'm glad I made it. And I can't wait to finish him, though I probably won't do that till tomorrow sometime. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and start sanding on this Highland cow and try to knock him out. Heck yeah, cute little cow. That's right. This will be the third one of these I made today. And I don't know what I did with the RZ. But I'm going to wear a mask, I can tell you that. I've been wearing RZ all day, and then right when I went to get on the live stream, I couldn't find it. I'm sure it's probably in the garage somewhere. That's what it's like. And I'm walking back and forth an awful lot. So. Anyhow, let's clean this dude up. Now, eventually I'll black the spurs, or the hooves, and the nose. We're going to make them smooth. We're going to make the horn smooth. Hey, that's not plugged in. That won't work. I would expect it to work if it wasn't plugged in. You retread. Okay. Oh, okay. Plug it in. Wake up. Come on, Billy. Now, I did these earlier. I was doing them flat. I laid them down flat, drilled them down, and now, this particular cow, he's a little on the sassy side. He already broke this one prong off, you know, headbutting his brothers, you know. I mean, that's the way it goes. Some of these kids get a little unruly at times, right? And they're having a good time. Can't blame them. All right, I think I'm gonna burn welcome into that, dude. And really, I should have, I probably should have put that in there before I burn it, because I'd sand that all over again. But it is what it is. It's not like it's that big a deal, you know. Yeah, you could have done this and saved a few minutes. All right, man, that's awesome. Now you supposedly can save a lot of money by switching to Geico, but everybody I talked to said don't go like that. Let's see. Won't run out of room quick, ain't I? Yeah, that's what we're gonna have. You know, the W is a little screwy, but that's what we're gonna have. All right, let's try this thing. Let me put the mask back on. You know, this one's kind of fogging me up a little bit. It is what it is. I'm gonna work something. That old dude's cute, and like I said, the hooves, and the nose that'll be black, and I'll probably just leave the ears like they are, one pointy, one rounded. Yeah, it's cute, kind of individual, you know, along with that messed up horn. Now, clearly, he would have had to go and get a bearer to cut that in for him, because with these hooves, he's not scratching that.
Let's burn that up and sand it back off. Actually, before I even burn it, I'll just probably just blow it off with the gas and then burn it. Blow it on out of there. Let's see. Ain't very hot. It's not bad. Alright, I say that's good enough. And if it ain't dark enough later, then, you know, I can always come back in and paint it black inside there. Which takes time. I mean, that takes a lot of time, so kind of hate the jack of that. But if it's necessary, it'll do it. I'm pretty easy. Yeah, and other than, it just depends on that dust. You know, try to clean that dust out and see how it goes. So I might have to paint that in there black just to make it pop. But other than that, you paint the hooves and really the whole thing needs blowed off. See if I can get this lip bar. Well, I might as well blow it off now and be done with it. This thing's wonky. That's that. That thing's cute. I think it's cute. I'm gonna glue it. I'm gonna go ahead and glue the
that piece on my ELK. That's it overnight. I've been using, I have a piece over here, and I'm planning on making another. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. There's this little guy. Oh, that's cute. I don't care who you are. If you don't think that's cute, there's something wrong with you. You know, I mean, it's just cute. Pretty ever heard the other one's a GROOT. Actually, his feet need some work. So he won't stand up on his own. I'm gonna have to fix that. But I ain't gonna do it tonight. He can wait. I'm gonna go ahead and chuck this thing back up. And I got a clamp over there where I was working on another piece, another cracked piece, a long piece that I want to make it into another parrot that says it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Anyway, I glued that. It had a long crack it running in it. I'm like, man, that's a really good piece of wood. I hate to not use it because of that crack. And if I can, I know if I can get some glue down in it, then it would be fine. And that's what it ended up doing. It ended up flowing really, really well. And that was that. And it's been like that since this morning. So that stuff's pretty hot, rock hard. I mean, I wouldn't want to carve it yet. Maybe tomorrow. That might still be kind of early. I don't know. I think I got plenty of things to do. All right. Heck yeah. Appreciate you guys being here. 220 likes, man. That's a good deal. Yeah, let's see who else we got here. Hey, Artsy, what's going on? Baby kisses. Heck yeah. All right, yeah, Josh. Hey, we'll see you Wednesday. Billy, you got some ice cream? Okay. All right. Man, that video he put out, I love that video. But yesterday or today? I can't remember. It was kind of weird timing for them. It was in the afternoon. And they usually do like first thing in the morning, either Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember if that was today or yesterday. I don't know. It was yesterday, I think. Yeah. Okay, put that piece back in there. I'm just going to let that set like that overnight. And not getting traction there. Figure it out. I'm going to let that, anyway, I'm going to let that set overnight and come back tomorrow and finish it. And I think I'll probably post a picture of it. I already got a picture. I took a picture of the 5 pieces I did earlier today. If I can't get that down through there too. And that ain't gonna really matter now that I've smashed it. But that'll be plenty good now. That thing looks good though. I mean, I'm really happy with it. And even the antlers, the horns hadn't even been cleaned up and stuff, and it looks pretty good. Pretty happy with it. Hey, what's going on, Redskin Garage? Glad to see you, man. Hey, Plywood, what's going on, buddy? Glad to see you. But that's what we got. I'll step back on that a little bit. And if you wasn't in here earlier, at some point in time, while I was carving it, it cracked right there. Easy fix. It didn't break down here. I mean, you're glad to get it done now. That way you hate for somebody to take it home, hang it up, and not happen to them. So try to get that worked out. And then tomorrow I'll come back in and finish it. I got to dig, clean the mouth out some more, bring it to kind of a point here, give him some nose holes, cut some away from the bottom of this eye, and then I'll paint the eye white and then black over top of it so it's looking forward. You can see it's looking forward. There's a lot of sand in here and a lot of finger sand, a ton of finger sanding to do on there. But here, just real quick, I'll show you guys. See what we got here. This stuff some stuff we made today. And here was the other 2 we made earlier. And I had to turn this guy that we just made around because he's leaning forward. He needs his feet cleaned up. And I didn't realize it. But there's a little GROOT. I don't know why. I decided to make a GROOT, but there it is. And there's a moose with a cardinal on his head. Now you can already tell because, of course, it's not painted yet. But moose with a cardinal on its head. I thought it was pretty cool. See stuff similar. Hey, Keith, how's it going, man? But, kind of cool. Yeah, T-Rex. Yeah, life-size T-Rex. No, I ain't got the scaffolding for that. Or the patience. Anyway, another one of these little Highland cows. we've done pretty good with these little pieces. And Keith, glad to have you in there, man. And you know, of course, Bigfoot. We're gonna paint his teeth white, paint his eyes white and then black. Give him some pupils, paint the nose holes black, and probably paint in the letters so that the letters really pop. But you know, don't stop believing. That's where we're at with that. You know, heck yeah, Billy, you got it. Anyway, here we go. We're getting close to 18,000, and that's our goal. Honestly, I was hoping to hit that 20,000 by the time I'd been on here 2 years, which will be September 21st. But I don't think that's going to happen. I know you got all the dinosaurs, but it ain't going to happen anytime soon. Michael S., that's my favorite. You let them know. The aliens or the toilet bowls. That's the ones I want to see. Hey, I appreciate the flowers there, Keith. I don't know. I'm just persistent, you know. Just keep trying, man. That's it. That's it. That's all you can do. But I appreciate that nonetheless. But anyway, that's the piece we got. And the stuff we made today, you know, that's 7 pieces I made today. Yeah. We're getting kind of full in here, little stuff, but that's our focus. Now that I got that big bear done down there, I'm going to have to, yeah, you got it right. Not too good, not too bad, somewhere in the middle. Hey, Pine and Oak, what's going on? Broski, I like that. But yeah, that's where we're at, guys. So I'll leave y'all alone. We'll be back Friday night. We'll have a short come out Wednesday. We always do. 50 foot tall, our Raging Raptor. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, imagine the scaffolding and the time it takes for one guy to do that. That's for sure. I don't see it happening here. But that said, I'll be back Friday. And don't forget, Creation Dust 777 Wednesday, followed by Wowie's Workshop. And we'll have a short come out on Wednesday as well. At least one. Actually, I got to do a couple. We got Senior Batteries sent me these batteries to try out. They're supposed to be better than factory batteries for Makita and DeWalt. And so we're going to be making a couple short videos on those too as well. No pressure or anything like that. You know, people send you stuff, you make a video and say whether it was any good or not. And that's what I got to do. Anyway, that's what I got, guys. I appreciate y'all being in here. Come back when you can stay later, you schmucks.